My husband invited a stripper to have a threesome with me on my wedding night. Should I leave him?
You know, sometimes we hear about people that have terrible relationships.
And this is not one of them.
We have people who are inspirations.
Yeah,
for
this is an inspiration for us all.
I mean, truly, what a king.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, start your wedding like you want your relationship to be.
Right.
You know? So like your marriage to be, your wedding night should be emblematic of the marriage. And so if you want to have threesomes every night, start early.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
By the way, welcome for the third time in a row for us, but first time for you all. Macy, Savannah Smiles
Hello.
is on the show.
I am, yes. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to your studio.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yes.
We
Our
called out of our
studio
garbage
again.
can, and we went to our real studio, which we, you know.
We've been keeping from you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We were
we're
like,
sorry.
Let's drop like $1 million on a studio and then never use it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Well, but we want to just reveal it for a very special
very special
guests.
guest.
And,
Exactly.
you know, Macy qualified.
I do have to say for my streaming room, though, how you guys have your lights set up in the back was kind of like where I kind of drew inspiration.
Wow.
I am actually
High praise.
honored.
I just took the lights I had in the house, though. I was lazy with it. But I liked the different colors.
We had some inspiration.
In the back. Yeah.
You know, we once, because we like have like sound blankets to like black out the light and happiness from the room.
I like those.
Yeah, like these, right? So I was like, what if we like didn't record in a cave for once?
Yeah.
And so we pulled the blinds back and all of our videos like tanked. All of them.
Yeah,
All the
people
TikTok
really
videos.
like the darkness.
Yeah, they like us. They like our
Surrounded
suffering.
in darkness. All right. So wait, Macy, quick question. Is a threesome on the wedding night a deal breaker?
Depends on the type of relationship I think you have. For me personally, that's just not something that's on the table. But if that was something that was like you guys have discussed before,
Right.
and it was like, you know, with all these things, like I'm not polyamorous at all, but I'm not gonna like crap on people who are polyamorous. It's just not my thing. I'm very monogamous. Graham's very monogamous. But if this is like what they're into, they've discussed it, I think it's fine.
What if it wasn't discussed and he's like, babe, I have a present for you.
Yeah.
Babe.
I'm pulling in a really special favor for you, so you better be grateful.
Yeah, I'd be a little pissed off. I'd be like,
Just a little pissed off.
I'm being nice, but like,
Yeah.
I would obviously not be mad at the person that's being pulled in for the threesome because like they probably have no clue what's going on.
I mean, that's very.
Like,
I think that's pretty fair of you. I think, like, you know, just given the scenario.
I'm just imagining them
it's very
bursting
catch
out
a
of like a
shrapnel.
wedding cake. It's like, like,
Yeah.
here we are. I'm ready.
somebody like in the Brothers story, and like they knew you wouldn't want a threesome, and they just come around.
Whoa.
No.
Does
but,
Graham
like,
have any
Brother pops
siblings
out of cake?
for a threesome?
I'm in love with my own brother.
No, just like a double backstab with like, you know, like
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say it's your best friend that knows you really wouldn't want that, and they were like showing up with your husband and be like threesome. I feel like that's a double backstab. But
That is a
generally-
double backstab.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what actually happens in this.
Yeah,
'Cause-
maybe we get a triple backstab.
Ooh, I love that. All right. Let me preface by saying nothing like this has ever happened before, which is what left me so utterly flabbergasted.
Oh, you mean she hasn't been offered on her wedding night before to have a
Threesome?
I mean,
Hey,
I feel
you
like
haven't
that's
been living.
pretty common.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's a very common.
That is
Last
called a
week.
good
Yeah,
time.
come on. Like, jeez. Normalize. No, I'm just kidding.
Normalize having threesomes on your wedding. No. Don't
You're
commit
like,
down to that. Yes.
You know what?
Normalize
Yes.
having
Here we
threesomes on your
are.
wedding.
I, John Frye, would like to normalize. You know what? Let's go tensome. You know,
Tensome.
why are we mincing?
Let's cut over to your girlfriend right
Yes.
now, who definitely has a camera on her.
Your answer now.
Right. But I had a lot of trust in the relationship, but this has called some things into question.
Okay.
My husband, we'll call him Steve, and I plan to get married in Vegas.
Of course,
Yo, that's where we are.
of course,
tonight.
his name is Steve too. I mean, I know she's giving. him a
Yeah,
name,
yeah.
but, like,
Is that like a
Steve.
Vegas name?
No, it just sounds like somebody that would do this.
Steve.
Like a fucking
Yo,
scuzzball.
hey, anyone named Steve? Fuck
we
you.
hate you. Like, stop watching. I will punch
Get
you in the
out,
face if I
get
see
out.
you in person.
Unless, you're down to have a threesome, then, come over maybe.
You need it like at the beginning of this to have like, "Hi, Steve," at the beginning of the YouTube videos. Just
Yeah.
that way, there's gonna be one person named Steve that's gonna be like, "What?"
Whoa, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Steve, we're talking to
We're
you.
talking to you.
Talking to you. And actually, Kevin from TSA. I remember when we were talking earlier, and I miss you.
There was a guy who recognized Sam and said, "Oh wow, I've been watching the show for a year." Da da da. And then there was a guy who I went in behind him, and he said, "Oh, you look better with the beard." So.
And Jake from State Farm, this is for you.
There we go.
We love Jake.
We're doing all the shout outs today. Everybody gets a shout out.
Everyone gets a car. All right. So we planned to get married in Vegas with an entourage last year, but due to COVID, we got a courthouse marriage last year and did our wedding in Vegas this year for a 1-year anniversary, which I think is like a solid idea.
That's nice. I like that.
That's a good idea. Threesome.
Yeah, get married first for tax purposes, and then have your actual wedding.
There we go.
Perfect. We like to have fun. What kind of fun, though?
What you talking about?
What you talking about? So our Vegas plans did include hitting a strip club. Okay.
There's a lot of like
For a wedding?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out here. You'd be surprised.
That do
like,
that?
Go with
Friends?
couples. Yeah,
I've
go
heard of like
together.
I don't know anyone, but like I've heard like people sometimes like do like business at strip clubs.
What kind of business are you doing at a
Selling coke.
Oh.
Kidding.
It's big business. I
Big
mean,
business,
it's
a booming business.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean,
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh, hey.
It's all the
Throwing it out there.
cryptocurrencies, like the altcoins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All strip clubs.
Yeah. I just launched my new booty coin. I got this new coin called Cheat Clap.
Elon
coin.
sperm, which is a legit
Yeah.
coin.
Titty
Wow.
coin.
Oh, wow.
That's one.
That's
Yeah.
one? Wow.
Are you investing?
I thought Cum Rocket was like the
No.
The OG.
The
There's
one,
also
but-
butt coin.
Ooh.
coin.
I accidentally said butt coin one time instead of Bitcoin, and so I looked it up, and I was like, oh no, that's a real thing.
I mean,
course
it's,
it
the SEO opportunity is
It's
ripe.
massive.
I mean, think of all the people accidentally typing you. Millions.
Millions. Hey, that's money right there.
Yeah, it is.
You or a loved one been affected by mistyping Bitcoin.
Call 1-800.
Coin.
Call 1-800-BUTTCOIN for your free compensation.
The day before our wedding, we were all supposed to go to a club together, but I drank too much and was confined to bed. So my husband and some friends hit the strip club and stayed at the hotel. Cool. No big deal. He didn't come home until 7 a.m. Oh my God.
Oh,
Why so early?
Oh, okay. So this is a weird thing my friend told me. Apparently the breakfast in strip clubs out in Vegas is supposed to be really good. And they start serving it early.
Babe, I'm not going to the strip club for the girls. The breakfast is amazing.
Obviously.
The pancakes.
I love waffles, babe.
Yeah, I love you as much as I love the stripper waffles.
I was like, they have kitchens, they have food. It's like most bars and nightclubs don't.
Yeah.
Why don't bars and nightclubs have kitchens?
We should be hanging out at strip clubs way more than we are. That's what I'm learning from
know
this
what?
conversation.
We are forget making a studio. We're just gonna make the OKOP strip club and just record there. Okay, that's clearly
Yeah, a studio is really like it's just kind of like a
It's-
money suck. This is a business opportunity. Not only are we making content, but the strippers are making us money, and we can strip too.
strip clubs have walls.
Yeah.
Studios have walls. I don't see what's
Long-haired daddy strip tease, better than Magic
wrong.
Mike.
My new OnlyFans.
Yeah, yeah.
Please
It's
subscribe
coming soon. Coming soon.
to a camera.
And you'll be coming soon if you watch it.
You have to cut over to your girlfriend.
See, we always have the door closed. Now she knows what our
Yeah,
podcast
this is what goes on.
is. Behind closed doors. Sam and John record one podcast.
Yeah. Sam objectifies John on the daily.
And John loves it. But don't tell him. Shh.
It'll be our little secret.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
Not ideal to get married on no sleep, but if it doesn't bother him, doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. He gets home and starts talking about 2 strippers he met. Fuck, I am okay.
Can't even speak.
I can't even speak. I'm just still thinking about John's hot bod.
God.
2 strippers, and their name was Charity and
John.
I do have a stripper name.
Yeah.
okay.
Vanilla Thunder.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And when I was living in Australia, one of my friends was part of Thunder Down Under, and he was my roommate and I considered auditioning, because he had an in with the Thunder Down Under.
That's like Australian.
Yeah, it's like
Chippendales or something?
it's like
Yeah.
it's like a stripping group.
They actually have one down here, but I wouldn't recommend going to it. My friend really wanted to go with her husband and Graham were friends, so we all ended up going. One, because we had so many guys by us, that they kind of left us alone, which is kind of nice, but they were so offbeat and so out of sync with each other. I was like,
You know, if you're gonna be a male stripper, why don't you take a dance lesson? Come on,
some freaking rhythm, bro.
seriously.
Ugh.
Respect your craft.
He gets home and starts talking about 2 strippers he met. One who wants to come to our wedding.
paying them? Because, like, I feel like outside, like, I feel like strippers, you're like, oh, yeah, you know, they kind of talk surface level, but I don't think they generally have, like, an interest in you outside.
Making money.
One would think.
I guess maybe he met the stripper with
An
the heart of
adventurous
gold they
stripper.
always talk about.
Yeah. She really does love me, I swear.
Yeah. You can tell by the way, like when I put like money in her pants, like she means it. She means everything she says to me.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to meet my mom. Which is why
She
she's
wants
going to the
be
wedding.
my mom.
Mommy?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry
No, you're fine.
that you're on this
fine.
podcast.
You're fine.
He gets home and talks about 2 strippers. One who wants to come to our wedding. We'll call her Stella.
See. Macy contents.
Macy
She knows
content. She
content.
knows.
I am
She
so
knows.
much more PG on my channel.
Retention, spikes, all of it.
Hey, this is what everyone comes for. She told me she didn't want to be weird and she had a boyfriend, but our wedding sounded cool and she wanted to come. Again, cool. We had the room as it wasn't a formal wedding.
Sure.
And what's a Vegas wedding without a stripper from the night before? Which is fair. It's fair. I guess. Yeah.
Also, Opie is being very reasonable up
Like,
to this
this
point.
literally sounds like the plot of, like, a hangover wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like,
Then he tells me about the other stripper who he thinks wanted to have a threesome with us because she said his wife sounded hot. And he invited her to the wedding also.
wow, there was a stripper at a strip club that was flirting with him. Oh my God, I can't imagine.
Your wife sounds so hot. Can I come to your
Yeah.
wedding? What do you even say to that?
Also, what is he playing, like voicemails? Like
Yeah,
I
like
don't
look at
understand.
he's like they're like doing like a dance on. He was like, look at my wife, and she's like, cool.
we went to Napa Valley. She's
Probably was like, literally, look at my wife, hot, and that was it.
Yeah.
yeah, literally.
You want to come to my wedding?
Yeah.
Sure.
Either that or their buddy system. They're doing the buddy system. Like, so she's gonna go because the other girl was gonna go.
Oh, that's an
Yeah.
interesting point.
I'm super into true crime, and like that's like it's really unfortunate, but a lot of the times,
Right.
like, sex workers are really easy targets. So
Right.
it could be that they're trying to do the buddy system.
Travel in
That
packs.
is, yeah, that's a good
And
point.
she literally like was like hot.
Right.
I didn't really say much to that because what do you even say to that? He's mentioned wanting to have a threesome before, and it has never been off the table. But we really have only discussed it briefly and vaguely, like we might want to do that someday. He also got both of their numbers to send them the wedding info, but that is where things go downhill. I love it, like nothing before.
Nothing before.
Yeah,
it
I know.
wasn't that he was out till a strip club to 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
The night before his wedding.
Well, it was because he wanted breakfast.
He wanted waffle. I mean, are we going to gaslight him for loving waffles?
Hey, you got to
Wow.
get those cakes
Love
somehow.
waffles. Person in waffles.
For a majority of the time leading up to the wedding, we didn't spend our time separate before the wedding since we were already married. He's talking about how he really thinks they're going to show up and he can't believe strippers are coming to our wedding. Like he talked about almost nothing else. Not the greatest vibe for a bride on her wedding day who is expecting to be her husband's main focus.
He failed the vibe check.
Oh my God.
Yo,
So bad, though.
More excited about the strippers coming to the wedding than his
buddy.
freaking wife.
Buddy. That ain't it.
He failed the vibe check. Like,
Oh.
failed it.
Wow.
But it didn't bother me that much at the time because I assumed he was excited and maybe a little high on Vegas.
Okay.
stripper booty.
Hold on, Queen. You don't deserve this.
Yeah.
You don't deserve random strippers showing up to their wedding.
I mean,
Even just random people in general, I'd be kind of pissed off about.
yeah.
Right?
There's
Then
a
all of
guest
sudden,
list.
Sally Jelly Cheeks just walks through the door.
Now you're paying for their dinner.
We did not even, I mean, filet mignon plate.
Yeah.
Hello. Goodbye. Bye,
Down
Sally.
that
Get your
stripper
jelly
pie
cheeks
hole.
out of my face.
Apparently, strip clubs also have steak.
You know a
I
lot
read
about
that
strip
online.
clubs.
I read that one online. Well,
Online.
Wow.
I
I
live
did
out of
some
Vegas.
deep research.
no. The breakfast one I know from my friend who lives out here, but she's a writer.
My
She's like, I wanted to
friend.
go.
Swim, someone who isn't me.
Oh God, I couldn't write for shit. I wish I could, but yeah, she's a freelance writer, and she's like, I want to do a piece going to the Las Vegas strip clubs for breakfast and like rate all of them. And I was like,
I could see that taking
Back
off.
that
I would
up?
read that.
back that up. What? And
You
then
said, let me accompany you.
I don't know how I know this.
A big hit on
But I think I
TripAdvisor, I'm
read
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
top 10
Yeah.
strip club breakfasts.
Yeah, she writes for a blog out here in Vegas, so I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, what? Like, I guess dinner made sense
Yeah.
to me because I'm
You've heard
like,
of-
yeah, like you could be there at midnight and want, like they have the buffets, like that was
Right,
like,
right.
and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I just figured they catered it. Like I didn't think they were making it.
Yeah. I think like the title of that article should be "Heard of Bed and Breakfast, but how about breakfast and booty?"
Cakes and cakes.
No one. No one. All
No
right.
one laughs.
All right,
Shutting Sam down.
I'm gonna keep reading. Wedding time rolls around, and Stella actually shows. She's gorgeous and sweet, and she's wearing all white. No. And we decide we might visit her at the club later that night, since I missed out the night before and was a little bummed. We part ways and head to take our wedding portraits. And my husband is still talking about Stella and how beautiful she is, but now it's about what club she will be at and when later in the evening we're going to meet up. At one point, he even referred to her as his Vegas girlfriend to our friends, which made me uneasy, but I laughed it off as a joke and figured he was high on Vegas. What is this excuse?
What
High
is
on Vegas.
I
Like-
live here. I don't know what.
Probably high on Vegas,
What is
dude.
he like, sniffing desert sand? Like I don't know what.
I don't know.
He has so much glitter up his nose from
yeah.
motorboating stripper booty that he's not thinking straight.
No, I'm like high off Vegas. What does that even mean? Like, there's people do stupid stuff on the
Right.
strip when they're drunk. I'm sure
For
you
sure.
guys got that footage last
Oh,
night.
yeah.
But like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's being very, very reasonable.
Too
my God.
accommodating.
Massively like just.
I would have already been like, "Hey, you, come here. We're gonna go effing talk in that
Yeah.
room over there."
Oh yeah.
We head to dinner, and husband is sucked into his phone, barely speaking to me, and still managing to rush me to meet up with our friends and go see Stella. We meet up with our friends, bar hop a bit, then head to Stella's club with the expectation that we'll stay for an hour because it's late and everyone's pretty beat. We get there, and after about 10 minutes, Stella comes over to hang out. Steve wants to get a couple's lap dance. I tell him I don't want to, but to go without me. I would prefer to sit back and tip the girls dancing on the pole. And I am also very sober, couldn't drink because partying too hard the day before. And at this point, feeling a little bit awkward as my husband seems very into Stella.
It just keeps like
painful.
you like when you think it can't get worse, it just somehow
It
does.
does.
Yeah, the train wreck
Like
keeps going.
how?
It's like the train wrecked, and then somehow a car drove into it, and then a plane also just
Yeah.
wrecked all together.
Steve gets down on one knee.
And proposes to Stella.
Wizard of Oz house drops on top of all of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Babe, can I get that ring back real quick? I just need it for something.
Yeah.
No.
It'll only take a
Steve.
minute.
No.
Oh, jeez.
After several minutes of being talked into it by Stella and Steve, I uncomfortably agree and we head back to get that lap dance. The dance starts, and I'm that person that doesn't know what to do with my hands when I guess you're getting a lap dance. I wouldn't know what to do. Is it no touching? Is it like finger guns? Doing a great job.
Arm stiff. You're like,
Yeah.
Or just like,
So I'm just waiting for it to end. Stella tries her best to make me feel at ease, joking and complimenting me, but it just makes me feel more awkward. Well, that and Steve asking me more than once why I'm being awkward.
Steve.
After several minutes, I leave before the dance is over, but tell them to finish, and they do. Several minutes later, they come back to the group. Stella perches on my chair and tells me that Steve told her we wanted to have a threesome. Wait, Steve told Stella is like, yo, my wife wants to have a threesome with you.
I feel like the conversation, he was like, yeah, she might be into threesome. She was like, okay. And then so he's like, that's a sign. That's a yes. That's like the type of yes.
Yeah.
That's the type of yes I would take as a kid. You know, when I'd be like, Mom, can I have candy later? She'd be like, okay. And then like later would come and she'd find me in my Halloween candy.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I'm like, but you said okay.
You said okay. Okay equals yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God.
You said maybe. That's obviously yes.
Yeah, you didn't say no. So
Yeah.
what else would you say?
So Stella comes back.
Just end me now.
And then she apologetically told me, hey, sorry, honey, but I just don't do threesomes with customers. I'm mortified for several reasons. One, because he crossed that professional line and it was disrespectful, especially because he knows she has a boyfriend. Two, he made me
worrying about other people.
Yeah.
I know. I love how that's one. One is like, think of the stripper and her
Stripper.
boyfriend.
It's like, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what about like the 8 disrespectful things he's done in like these
Literally.
sentences before this?
Yeah.
Yo, you need to set some boundaries for yourself, girl. Two, he made it sound like I was in on it. And three, arguably most important, the man asked someone to have a threesome without discussing it with me on our wedding night.
Just the on the wedding night. It's just wow. Wow.
At this point, we've been here for about an hour, and our friend group decided to leave. All of us, except my husband. He opted to stay at the strip club alone with the girl who just shot him down for a threesome, while all his friends and his wife went back to the hotel.
Is it too late for a divorce?
I
That,
freaking
like,
hope so.
I am so
Get that shit
slow to
annulled.
say that because I know there's so much more to a marriage than that, but I'm like, that is so massively disrespectful on a big day. I think that's kind of on that line.
It's what you said. He literally has done like 10 things like in a row and is clearly not at all
No
worried or
remorse.
caring about what his wife is feeling or like anything like that.
No.
To be fair, he did ask me if it was okay, and I said it was. Because at this point, I don't have it in me to explain to this man all the ways he has disrespected me. He gets home an hour or two later. He's at the strip club for an hour or two. And asks me if I'm mad, and I unleash it on him.
The worst part is he knew that she was mad.
How can you
And
not?
stayed 2 hours at the strip club. It's not like, oh my God.
It's not even like this guy is just like so oblivious you could hit him with a brick and he wouldn't notice. It's that he recognized that she was mad and was like,
Are you mad, babe?
Stay like another hour or two. Just like let her cool off.
My God.
Hang with my new stripper
it wasn't
girlfriend.
like, hey, go outside. That's not a hate. Let go outside. I'll meet you out there in 5, and he's just apologizing or something like that. Like, how much is this man spending there?
I don't know. Enough for the stripper to want to be.
Really, apparently had some number of the idea.
Yeah.
there.
Enough for the stripper to want to come to his wedding.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So like, I feel like a lot. So I unleash it on him, but I don't get far before he cuts me off by continually saying, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole, until I stop even trying to talk about it. We go to bed, and in the morning, he tells me he apologized to Stella and deleted her contact info.
Bro.
Well,
How about you apologize to your wife, though? Like,
yeah, I'm like, at least he did one thing right there, which would be apologizing to her for making her uncomfortable and taking her out of his phone because he clearly is attracted to her. So, like, at least that's one thing he kind of did right. But like, this is after doing like 20 things wrong.
yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's just like,
I mean, even
the
like,
ratio.
man is struck out, you know, like he's gotten his
Truly.
chances. We leave for our 5-day honeymoon and don't discuss it again, except for once when he informs me that Stella appreciated the apology, but said it wasn't necessary and that she wants us to come see her next time we're in Vegas. Great. I spend our honeymoon either stoned, not a healthy crutch, I know, but it was the only thing that made it bearable, which allowed me to occasionally forget about the incident. Also, if you're having to get stoned to get through your honeymoon, that's not a good start to the marriage.
No, if you have to, if you have to anything, like this isn't just saying hard drugs, but if like you have to drink to get through being around your significant other, maybe like don't be with them. Like I feel like that's kind of common sense, but you know, it's
One
not
would
that
think.
common.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Oh, but
Here
this
we are.
this next part is heartbreaking though. getting stoned allowed me to occasionally forget the incident or silently fuming, but I was wondering if I was overreacting. I was afraid to go off if this wasn't actually a big deal, as maybe I thought it was, because obviously he didn't think it was. He asked me multiple times if I was okay. Every time I gave a half-hearted fine. We returned home and I told my best friend the story because I needed to talk to someone about it. And I needed her to tell me all of my concerns in my head. I was just overreacting. It's fine. She confirmed that my concerns were valid and I was not overreacting. Girl, you're not overreacting. That night.
Underreacting.
So much.
Massively.
Dude, so much.
God.
That night, I confronted my husband and actually got to speak. When I finished, he apologized. He said he thought a threesome was what I wanted because I was so excited when he brought it up earlier that day.
Exactly what you were saying.
I'm curious how drunk he was, because if she was like, okay, he could have just completely
misinterpreted
everything, because this sounds like drunk guy behavior.
Yeah, and he's probably so excited that he's not analyzing the
Obviously
situation.
Not every guy, but this does sound like you have to be drunk, because I don't understand how you could be so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But maybe he also could just not care enough about his wife's feelings or what she wants. Because her wondering if she's overreacting to the situation makes me think it's like a pattern. Right. Like she's constantly wondering whether her reaction is valid when this is so obviously over the line. Mm-hmm. She's probably been
he's talked her down from other things, and also this happened over multiple occurrences of him going the first time, and so it's was he blackout drunk the whole time? I mean,
that's true.
I feel like there's some manipulation going on here where he's over the however long they've been dating, she's been made to feel crazy.
Yeah,
and maybe he's just Steve. He said he knew he fucked up, but didn't bring it up sooner because he thought I wanted to wait until after vacation to discuss it. Right? Why would I want this to hang over our vacation like a rain cloud instead of working through it?
I don't know anyone that would want to sit through a vacation and just go through it.
And just stew.
Yeah, no, that's worse. You don't
so much worse.
You never leave someone to stew.
Yeah. So the question OP is asking, I read it to you guys, to us, the official marriage counselors. Mm-hmm. We are the marriage counselors that the internet needs.
Yes.
Yeah. What should I do? I thought this man was my future. We have dogs together and we're discussing kids. I don't want to give up on it so easily, but I don't know if I can get past this. It's not just what he did in Vegas. It's how he behaved afterwards.
He also is just totally putting her own thoughts and feelings on her with saying, I thought you didn't want to discuss it. Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
There's never been once to grab been fine, I'm fine. And he's been you're obviously not fine if you want to talk. And I'm absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like the just communication style of this relationship is just not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, probably on both parts. She's been trained either by him, or maybe she doesn't want to speak up for himself, or just doesn't trust her own voice yet. And I feel like she needs to be vocal about what is going on, and he needs to actually listen to her. And there's this lack of communication that I think is allowing him to get away with ton of crap. And he's being a little asshole. But she shouldn't stand for this too, right? This is not okay behavior.
This sounds like one that they need marriage counseling for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're welcome.
Even if it ends or not, so that way you kind of have everything resolved.
Yeah.
I say marriage counseling, even if you're we're probably going to get divorced. Just that way you're kind of sorted through.
Yeah. Or I think another great option would be to DM us and come on the show, and we will be your marriage counselors.
Correct. We are licensed by ourselves.
Yes, we are.
And I mean, marriage, we do that.
Yeah, we know that. We know about commitment.
Yes.
Hey, we've been doing this podcast for a year.
We're committed to content.
That we are.
So,
I've been on this podcast only as of 2 hours ago. So.
And she hasn't left.
No.
See?
That is a commitment to the relationship we have. Best threesome in the room.
We guarantee that your relationship will last more than 2 hours. Can't beat that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you like this story, check out this one about a marriage pact that goes completely wrong.